How you going, guys? It's Stephen here from HobbyKing, and today we have the product profile for the new Avios bush mule. We've got the box here, we're going to unbox it, we're going to go through everything that comes in the box, we're going to go through the specs, we're going to build it. Let's see some flying, and then let's get into the build. So guys, now we have the Avios bush mule here. It's arrived. We're going to unbox it. We're going to put all the parts out. So guys, I've got all the parts laid out here. I've got my fuselage, my wings, the center section, the wheels, I can't find the manual.
Missing the manual?
Yeah.
That's because the manual's on the files tab of the product listing. All of our new planes are going to come with the manual from the files tab.
So we don't have them included as a hard copy anymore.
That allows us to update the manuals whenever we need to, and they're there no matter where you are at the field or at home. Easy to get, easy to download. Ready for you.
That's going to make
Over to you, Steve.
Thanks, Ian. All right, guys, we'll get on with the build. So guys, this is the Avios bush mule unpacked and on the table. Over here we've got the fuselage, the outer wings, the FPV canopy, the wheels, the undercarriage, the supplied skis that come with it, bag of hardware, the tail, the main wing section, and inside the wing section we have already pre-installed ESCs, the reversing ESCs, and the pre-installed 35mm brushless outrunner motors. The propellers, the three-bladed propellers that are known with the Sky Mule, now with the Bush Mule, and the tail surfaces. So guys, if I pick up the fuse, we'll have a look, see what we get with it in the box. So up here we've got the elevator and rudder servo already pre-installed. The lights already pre-installed. Open up the cockpit here. And inside we have the pre-installed steering servo and the battery tray. And as you can see, guys, in there you have ample room for your 4-cell battery. Anywhere up to a 3300 4-cell works perfectly with the bush mule. And as we flip it over, you can see the side access door, so you can get to all your electronics. And in there is also the servo for the cargo door. The outer wing sections have already got the pre-installed servo for the aileron and the pre-installed lights for navigation. And before we get on with the build, the first thing to do is to make sure that we flex all of our control surfaces. That way we're not going to put any more extra pressure on the servos. So we'll do that, we'll go through the whole build. We'll get back to you soon. So guys, as you can see, the bush mule is nearly halfway built. We've gone through some of the little bits and pieces. There's a couple of little things I'd like to talk about. The first one is obviously the undercarriage is all set up now. You can see it's nice and strong and it's ready to rock and roll. Also the front steering section here, a little bit of time and a little bit of energy there just to put a little bit of Loctite maybe onto the front collet, and also just to make sure that your servo's working nice and square so everything's nice and straight for when you want to fly. The tail feathers are all attached and screwed in. If you wanted to use a little bit of glue here, maybe a little bit of like epoxy or even just some Yoo-hoo glue that we've got here, just to give you that extra strength if you're going to fly the bush mule to its extreme. All right guys, we'll continue on with the build. So guys, we're continuing on with the build of the Avios bush mule. You can see we've got the main wing installed. Just a couple of little tips to make it easier for you. We've already pre-installed all the control surfaces, so just make sure you just run over them and just give them a quick check to make sure they're all secure. With the main wing itself, it's secured with two 4mm bolts, 55mm long. Just make sure that all of your electronics and everything are out of the way so you don't crimp any of the wires or get them caught up when you install the wing. And talking about the electronics, I'm actually going to set it up now to a FR Sky Tyrannus radio. You're probably going to need around about an 8-channel radio to get every control surface and also the differential thrust if you want to use the differential thrust programmed in with the rudder control. Anyway, I'm going to go find Nick. He's somewhere around here. He's going to give me a hand. Oh, hey Steve. Hi Nick. How you going?
Yeah, good. I think we probably need a left-handed screwdriver for this one. Would you better just grab that for me?
Oh, left-handed one?
Yeah,
I'll see what I got.
No problem. We're going to start off by using an 8-channel receiver. That'll give us 2 throttle channels, rudder, elevator, ailerons, and then reversing, flaps and cargo door.
Use that left-handed screwdriver.
Oh, can you get me the yellow one, please? So I'm going to go through and plug in a receiver, and then we'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so we've got everything plugged in now. We used all 8 channels. I had to add one extra Y lead, which just allows us to take power off channel 8 to power our lights. And you'll also see the lights on the wings are powered through the flap channels.
Is that the screwdriver?
Yeah, I guess that'll do.
Good enough.
Yep. Okay.
Man,
so
what a mess. What have you done?
yeah, so everything's plugged in. We had to add.
Guys, this is a really good indicator on how to clean up the electronics bay inside the Bushmule. What we want to do is we really want to tidy all those wires up to make sure everything's out of the way. If you want to use the cargo door, or later on if you want to add your VTX, you don't want any electrical interference. You want this thing to be nice and tidy inside so nothing gets caught up and nothing gets snagged like we said before. Just saying.
Noted.
Noted.
Noted. Okay, so what do we want now? Do we want props, or do we want to talk about what?
No, so start to put
Okay.
the props. Yeah, start to put the props on.
Yep. So we can test this differential thrust.
Hey. Safety first, no props. Come on. We're going to use some masking tape and that'll give us an indication on which way the props are going. So it'll show you guys the differential thrust. Sounds good.
Because science. Because science. Okay, so now we have the indicators on. First thing to do is just check our throttle cut's working correctly. That's all fine. So we can take off throttle cut. So we've set this up with 3 modes. First mode gives us just throttle and rudder independently. Second mode I've set up adds differential to the rudder movements. You can see as we add left rudder input, our right motor will spin, right rudder input, our left motor will spin. And then the third mode gives us the same differential thrust, but it's in reverse. So we've actually, while you're on water, you can reverse the plane.
And guys, this is really good on water and also on snow as well if you want to play around with it. The best thing about it is in the air, you can make this thing do flips and rolls and loops and stuff that you never thought you could do in the Bushmule. So anyway, thanks Nick. I'm going to tidy up the rest of this, the interior, to make it nice and clean, put the wings on, and then I'll get back to you. So guys, with the wings, the outer wings installed, screwed in by 4 screws and then simply just plugged into your control surfaces, and remember the lights as well. So guys, we've tidied up the electronics, and that way, if you're going to run the FPV, you get less interference. The propellers are on. We had to balance them a little bit. Make sure you do that, otherwise you get a bit of a vibration. You don't want that. You want it to run as smooth as possible. And everything has been set up to our manual. So all the control surfaces, your rudder, elevator, ailerons, flaps. Remember the cargo door as well. Everything's ready to go. Just to run through some of the specs as well, it's 1500 millimeters in wingspan, which is 59 inches in old money. It's 1100 millimeters long. You've got those awesome Tundra-like wheels to all the off-road ability, as well as the skis, which are available inside the box. And guys, remember the additional floats that are also on our website. You can set it up so you have your rudder control, so a water rudder, and that is then put in through a Y into your rudder. With that, with your differential thrust, also your stabilisers that then glue onto the back of the rear elevator to give you superb control on the water. Some other features with the Bushmule, the nose, like the Sky Mule, you can put your camera in there for your photography and also for your flying footage. Here we have the additional FPV canopy. On here we've installed a pan and tilt. This takes a little bit more to set up and obviously more channels, so we'll go into that in a further video as well. That pretty much wraps up the build of the Bushmule. So guys, it's available on our website, and remember the 2 different schemes. So you've got the one here, the yellow and grey, and also the blue and red. So guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and also Facebook. And remember, all the links for the products are down below. I'm Stephen from HobbyKing. I'll see you next time.